Biden or Trump? We are literally 10 days away from the elections, and in this video we'll talk about Biden's future policy on immigration and how Trump sees immigration and what he did so far. Let's compare the two and make some predictions. So what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello YouTube friends. In this video I wanted to talk about immigration policy under Trump, immigration policy under Biden. Proposed implementation is what he's going to be doing if he's elected. Let's talk about what Trump did so far and what he will do if he is re-elected. So many questions on that. We are just 10 days away from election, so I think it's time to discuss that in this video. Before that, if you're here for the first time, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Click this bell to be notified. You don't want to miss any of our videos. Also, give us a big like to make sure that YouTube will recommend this video to more people just like you. My name is Sapochnick and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. I help clients in all 50 states and I'm excited to make this video just for you. So let's talk about elections. Let's talk about immigration. So, Trump has been our president for the past 4 years, and so much has changed within our immigration system. We had so many changes in the past 4 years when it comes to immigration that we haven't seen for decades. And this is not just with respect to how people are coming to this country. It also with respect to how people see immigration to America, whether it's even worth it. I wanted to compare a little bit what Trump has done, what he's proposing to do, and also what is the plan under Biden, just so we can kind of compare. We are literally 10 days away, and so let's dive right in. So let's talk about a little bit about Trump and how his immigration policy has changed this country. Immigration policies follow the following pattern. This is America first, right? And it's really focused on economical benefits for industries, companies, manufacturing. He's focused less on families, and he's taking a step back from what is known as family unity, a step back from family unity, asylum, and safe harbor for immigrants. This is a policy that America was known for decades, and he's definitely taken a step back from that, pushing into this America first concept and focusing more, keeping our workers safe, the economy, and of course, as we were hit with the pandemic, that also became an excuse to hit hard on immigration, as we've seen in the past several months. Most of what Trump has done is through executive action and orders, not through congressional legislation. He also said that he's working on legislation to send to Congress that will change our immigration system into a merit-based, point-based system that I talked about in previous videos. And that is something that we don't know what's going to happen and we don't know when, but he said if he's going to be re-elected, he's going to press hard on this new immigration system that is going to be based on points, just like Canada. Again, he mentioned that, but we haven't seen anything in practice to take us further in that step of this new legislation, but we'll see. If you look at Trump's immigration policies, we can focus them on 8 major areas. Number 1, he's focusing on restricting legal immigration. And we've seen that with the bunch of orders that he's done, stopping people from coming here on H, J, and student visas, and of course the travel bans. Number 2, he always talked about completing the border wall with Mexico. That was the first thing he did and talked about since he became president. It is high on his priorities to build the wall. He always talked about completing the border wall with Mexico. That was the first thing he did and talked about since he became president. It is high on his priorities to build the wall. Number 3, he's focused on reducing the number of asylum seekers. You can see it with policies that he's done over the last few years, with changing the policy of who can claim asylum and where can claim asylum. The policies of when people can apply for a work permit when they apply for asylum. Stopping people from applying asylum when they enter the US. All these things that he did with one intention in mind, is to reduce the asylum seekers that are coming to the United States. Number 4, he's focused on stopping undocumented immigrants from receiving any benefits. He used the pandemic to pass all these laws to prohibit undocumented immigrants from getting the stimulus check funding and all these other benefits that were crucially needed for certain people that were already living in the US, facing the same hardship that everybody else were facing. And one focus in mind, stopping the benefits that undocumented immigrants are currently able to get in the different states and on the federal level as well. Number 5, deport immigrants who arrive to the United States as children. We focus now on DACA. His focus is to stop this program and ultimately lead to the deportation of all these young individuals. Of course, that's not really going to happen. It's not feasible. But what he wants to do is to completely stop DACA. And the result is, in the past year and a half, we've seen the DACA program being reduced to 1 year filings. People cannot qualify for DACA anymore. You cannot file new DACA applications. The USCIS is defining the Supreme Court rulings and all these things that are happening right under Trump's administration. So that is one goal: eliminate DACA and keep those young individuals in limbo if they lose their protected status. Number 6, restrict travel and visas from certain countries that Trump is focused on. So it started with a travel ban from Iran, from China, from other countries, and then as the pandemic expanded, he was able to do a travel ban from the Schengen countries. Travel bans been effective for Trump to stop people from coming to this country, specifically from countries that he does not like personally and does not want to do business with. So travel bans have been huge under Trump, and if he's re-elected, we anticipate to see more of those and the expansion of travel bans to other countries. Number 7, he's definitely focused, just like with the asylum reduction, to reduce the number of refugees coming to the United States. He stopped funding for certain of these organizations. He's making it more difficult for refugees to come here from the countries of origins. And all legislation that he signed and didn't sign clearly shows that Trump is not in favor of refugees. And again, this is against our American values and what this country is all about. So number 7, stop refugees. Number 8, review the H-1B visa program. Trump hates the H-1B visa program for some reason. And over the course of his administration, he mentioned that it's affecting U.S. workers. It's a bad program. Most recently, the Department of Labor passed a wage rule to increase the basic standard level of wage for H-1B visas. And the USCIS also followed with their own rule for H-1B visas, specifically defining what is a specialty occupation. So essentially, it's going to be very, very difficult, if not impossible, for many employers to sponsor H-1B workers and for many H-1B holders to qualify for H-1B visas. So as you can see, these 8 points were the main focus of immigration under Trump, and it's going to continue. It's going to increase. If Trump is re-elected, you should see an expansion of all these points, and further, he's going to go after certain classes of immigrants. He's going to expand probably the proclamation to prevent from family members to come to the United States, from parents, from green card holder spouses, and from other classes of immigrants. So we definitely see these policies to increase and become even more complicated and difficult under Trump if he continues to be our president. I mean, the fact is that Trump's policies are scaring even legal immigrants from doing certain things. For example, applying for public assistance. That should not be the case. But what happened under Trump is that we have essentially a feeling of fear and uncertainty specifically for immigrants, and that should not be the case. So that's Trump, immigration under Trump. Let's look into Biden and what he proposes to do if he's elected president. So, Biden spoke many times against Trump's immigration policy, specifically recently about the separation of kids. More than 500 kids cannot locate their parents because the Trump administration didn't keep records when they essentially arrested these parents and deported them and kept those kids in cages locked down here. So Biden criticized that, and I was actually part of the policies that discussed in the last debate. He is proposing a complete overhaul of what Trump has done so far. And let's take a look at a few of the things that he proposed. Biden said that Trump essentially started a war on our values and history as a nation of immigrants. And he proposes to do the following. He said he's going to take urgent action to undo essentially all of Trump's executive orders to basically bring back our values as a nation of immigrants. He said that he's going to work hard with experts, people that actually understand how immigration works, to modernize our immigration system. We definitely need that to happen ASAP. He said he's going to work on welcoming immigrants into our communities, not scaring them and sending them away. And the idea behind this is, if people are undocumented, we have a problem here with more than 12 million undocumented immigrants. There should be a humane way to deal with that, to find ways to legalize them under terms that are applicable by law. Not just give away green cards, but find a systematic way over a period of maybe 10 years to legalize these people, just like we did in the 80s under Reagan. There has to be a way, and there will be a way. He said he's going to reassert America's commitment to asylum seekers and refugees. It's about time for this to happen. And of course, he said he's going to implement effective border screening to make sure that criminals and terrorists are not going to come to the US, and at the same time allow people that want to be able to immigrate to do it the right way and not be scared or left with no options like they have today. One specific thing that Biden mentioned is that he's going to work on ending the prolonged detention of detainees in our collapsing prison system of immigration, and work on creating a case management system to be able to deal with those detainees in a more efficient way, unlike today. He specifically said that he's going to reverse Trump's public charge rule, which is obviously impacting families and immigrants from trying to apply for the relatives, but also from taking benefits that are really needed to take care of people, especially under the conditions of this pandemic. People are scared to go to the doctor, people are scared to be tested, and he's going to essentially reverse and take away the public charge rule. Biden said he's going to protect dreamers and their families, and he's going to do whatever it takes to come up with a solution for a DREAM Act or something like that to help almost 1 million of these young individuals who are hardworking professionals to get their legal status in the US. He specifically said it's going to be one of the first things he's going to do if elected as president. He's also going to rescind all the travel bans, specifically the ones that are targeting countries also referred to as the Muslim ban. He said he's going to rescind all that. Biden also said he's going to hold ICE and CBP accountable for any inhumane actions they take towards immigrants. Currently, there's no accountability at all. He said he's going to restore and defend the naturalization process for green card holders and future citizens. Currently, this whole system is in chaos. He said he's going to create a roadmap for citizenship for more than 11 million illegal immigrants that are currently living in this country, paying taxes, are not criminals. It is the right thing to do. I think the major thing that is going to be important under Biden is that he's going to start creating a process where immigrants are going to be welcome in communities. Immigrants are going to be welcome in the United States, and this is something that is missing right now. So when you choose Biden or Trump, the reality is that our immigration system needs to change, and it needs to change in a different direction that it's going right now. And again, just wanted to present in this video the different points of view of these candidates. And for me as an immigration attorney who is going through this process, who is seeing my clients suffer, I do feel we need to change, and we need the change right now. So hopefully this video was helpful just to give the different perspective of these candidates. And I think that no matter what happens, we need change, and we need it now. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, I'd like to hear what you have to say. Post your questions in the comments. And once again, if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to our channel, click this bell to be notified, and give us a big like so YouTube can share this video with more people just like you. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.